Hi everyone, I'm Pooja Kant from emofreetherapy.com, and I decided to do this live video. I just finished one on Instagram and I thought that why not just do it for FB as well. So this is about this course that I'll be doing on 23rd and 24th of May. It's going to be at 5:45 Indian Standard Time, and it will be for 2 hours, and it's called Calm Amidst the Chaos. And obviously that's what's going on. There is so much of chaos because of the pandemic. I just want to talk about a little bit about the pandemic. I want to talk about EFT as a tool and how it can help you during the pandemic, and what you'll be learning in the course. So as we all know, I mean, we are all experiencing it. This pandemic is something really new, and everyone is grappling with a lot of overwhelm, uncertainty, fear. There are a host of feelings that we are all grappling with, and there is this fear that is constantly there because it's an invisible threat. And when you can't see something, it feels more threatening for the body. And no wonder there is hypervigilance. We are anxious. Either we are really in an activated state where the body feels that it needs to fight or run away from something, the fight flight response, or it's not activated. It's the hypoarousal state where the body really wants to just not do anything. You feel frozen, you feel despondent, you feel the despair and just like not doing anything. And while that is okay, there are times you will be feeling hypervigilant and you will be feeling this despondent kind of state. We do want to keep coming back to the baseline. We can go up and we can go down, but we do want to keep coming back to the baseline. And there was a doodle that I made on this, which was based on Andy Hunt, who's a EFT practitioner, on his article. That's a really good article. Maybe I'll put it in the comment section. It was about how, when you're driving and the road is really narrow and you need to really be in the middle of the road. You can't veer too much to the left or the right, and if you go too much this side, you might fall into that kind of a despair, kind of hypo kind of a state. Or if you go too much to the left, then you go into a hyper kind of a state, the hypo, the hyper arousal of the body, the whole hypervigilance thing. And how if the road is narrow, then you need to really have a tight control and drive. But if the road is broader, which means your ability to manage emotions, self-regulation skills are more, then you have more leeway. You can go a little bit more this side and kind of navigate. So what EFT really does is it helps you to kind of broaden the road, your window of tolerance. It can really help you in navigating these really chaotic times. And so that is what affect regulation is. It's all about our ability to change our emotional state in order to adapt and meet the demands of a situation. And that is where EFT comes in. Now, obviously, emotions are going to come up, and the usual way in which we handle emotions, the usual way is to basically suppress the feelings or to act out on the feelings. I'm just checking if the sound is okay. And this doesn't really help. So we need to find a middle path. We need to find a way to acknowledge the feelings, the negative feelings. I like calling them difficult feelings. And of course, they are difficult because they produce these sensations in the body that become really uncomfortable. And at the end of the day, it just comes down to being able to tolerate those sensations in the body. So for example, if you're feeling really stressed about something, you might feel heaviness in the chest, you might feel some tension in the shoulder, and so on and so forth. And not everyone feels it in the body, so you might just know that yes, I'm really stressed, but you may not experience it in the body. So for each person is different, and that is where EFT comes in. It can really help you. So what is EFT? for those of you who don't know about EFT, let me just give you a short introduction. EFT is basically emotional freedom techniques, and it's also known as tapping, and it's a collection of tools, and this technique comes from partly from TCM, which is traditional Chinese medicine, where you have this meridian system and the concept of qi, which is energy. It's also pronounced as qi. The energy runs through these energy pathways, and there are around 14 meridians. They're connected to the organs. They may not be directly connected. I can describe or go into detail about that later, but mainly it's that we have 14 meridians and the energy passes through these meridians. And if the energy is blocked, then it can lead to physical and emotional issues. That's the way acupressure, acupuncture works, and that's where the Eft Accu Points come from. So these are the Accu Points. There are these points that are easy to locate and to tap on. So this is how we tap on them, and they are nearest to the surface of the skin, so you can easily stimulate those points. So that is one part of EFT, and the other part of EFT is definitely psychotherapeutic modalities, where what you literally do is there is this technique, what do you call it? It's a process called Reciprocal Inhibition by Joseph Wolpe, where when you have a conditioned fear response, then you have that, and then there's an induced relaxation response. So let me explain it in EFT terms. So in EFT, what we do is we ask you to think about something that is stressful for you, or that has been a kind of a negative memory or a traumatic memory, or you're feeling it right now, you felt it in the past, but we kind of focus on how you feel about that right now. And when you bring that to your mind, your body obviously goes into an activated state. You can feel it, although not as much as you might have felt in the past. You can feel a little bit of it or a lot of it, depending on what you're dealing with. So basically you go into an activated state, and when you are in that activated state, after that what you do is you tap on these points with specific statements. Now these statements are customized according to what you feel, and there's some sort of a phrase that is used that talks about how you can acknowledge your feelings. I love and accept myself, or I acknowledge my feelings. So that is incorporated in that statement, where there's a problem and there is a kind of acceptance going on, and that is what you say. And when you do that, and when you tap, then it sends deactivating signals to your amygdala, the part of the emotional brain that's responsible for fear and pleasure, and it really calms your body, and it makes your thinking brain, which this part of the brain which is called the frontal cortex, it makes your thinking brain active. So what EFT can really help in doing is that it can give you more clarity. It can, because you feel calmer, and when you're not so stressed and you're calmer, you get more clarity. You can make better decisions that lead to better outcomes, and you can handle negative, difficult emotions better. It's a self-soothing and a gentle method. Now, of course, there are certain issues, physical and emotional, for which you will need professional help, and this workshop does not address those issues. It does not equip you to tap on others or to address those issues by yourself. You'll need to work with a certified EFT practitioner. You can find certified practitioners on eftinternational.org. And what does this workshop really help you with? It's a 4-hour workshop, 15 to 30 minutes workshop, where you will learn first and foremost the basics of EFT, a standard basic protocol, a structured way to handle the stress, the fear that you're experiencing because of the pandemic, because of COVID. You will be learning how to gauge how intense is that feeling, kind of measuring it. You'll also learn how to tap on the different pieces of the problem, and I will also make sure that you get a format for tapping, where you will know how you can follow a structured format, because this is something new for you, those of you who are not who don't know about EFT or who are not trained in EFT. And you'll also be able to do EFT on a regular basis. I'll be giving you some tips on how to do unstructured tapping. Let's say you're outside and you want to feel calmer, you can do certain tapping protocols that can really help you in feeling calmer. And all of this we will be handling in the workshop, which is called Calm Amidst the Chaos workshop. It's on 23rd and 24th, and you can go to my website emofreetherapy.com and register there for the website for the workshop. So thank you so much for listening to this, and if you have any questions, feel free to post it in the comments section, and I'll be really happy to answer those questions. All right, so take care of yourself and stay safe.